Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. We always love to get into the nitty-gritty of interesting financial stuff that is happening right here in our community.
Absolutely.
And today we are going to be talking about interest rates
Yeah.
and the housing market. I have a stack of articles here from the Bellingham Herald, and they're all talking about
Oh, yeah.
basically the same thing, which is how falling interest rates are creating some interesting dynamics
Yeah.
in the Bellingham housing market. Some of the headlines I've got here are falling rates fuel Bellingham housing frenzy is a housing bubble brewing.
Wow.
Renters feel the squeeze as market heats up. So,
It's getting hot.
yeah, so it's on topic,
Yeah.
and we're going to dive into it right now.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, so I think that the big question that the title of these articles is really focused on
Yeah.
is this idea of falling interest rates.
Uh-huh.
So maybe you can just help level set for us. What are we even talking about when we talk about interest rates?
Yeah. Interest rates, in the most basic sense, are the cost of borrowing money.
Okay.
So when you take out a loan for anything, a car, a house, you are essentially paying a fee to borrow that money. And that fee is the interest rate. And that's how banks and lenders
Right.
make their money. When interest rates are high, the cost of borrowing money is higher. And when interest rates are low,
Uh-huh.
the cost of borrowing money is lower.
It's almost like the price of money in a way.
Exactly. It's the price of money. And so when the price goes down, more people want it.
Okay.
And that's what we're seeing right now in the housing market in Bellingham is interest rates have fallen recently. So mortgages have become more affordable. So more people are going out and trying to get mortgages to buy homes.
So if mortgages are more affordable, like you said, does that mean that more people are able to buy homes?
Exactly.
It's like a sale on houses almost?
Yeah, you can think of it that way. In the past few months, the Bellingham Herald article actually reported a 15% surge in home sales since rates started dipping. And a lot of that is because families who may not have qualified for a loan a few months ago
Uh-huh.
are now able to because their monthly payments are lower.
So I guess if there's more buyers out there, does that mean that home prices are going up?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. You have this basic principle of supply and demand, right?
Right.
So when the demand for something goes up and the supply stays the same or even goes down, the price is going to increase.
Mhm.
And so that's what we're seeing here in Bellingham. More people are able to buy homes, so there's more competition for the homes that are available, and that's driving prices up. So it's great for sellers right now.
Yeah. If you're a homeowner, this is good news for you.
Yeah, if you're looking to sell, but if you're a buyer, it's
Not so much.
a tough time to be a buyer right now.
Yeah, the articles even mentioned a story about a young couple that has been saving diligently for a down payment.
Oh, yeah.
And they're basically getting priced out of every
Yes.
single house that they try to make an offer on.
It's heartbreaking. They're doing everything right. They're saving, they're being responsible, and then they get into these bidding wars and they just can't compete.
Yeah. It's a tough situation for sure. And then the articles even mentioned that renters are feeling the effects of this too.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, so some landlords are seeing this hot market
Uh-huh.
and they're deciding to cash out, right? So they're selling their rental properties,
Makes sense.
which is great for them as a homeowner. But for the renters who are living in those properties, they're suddenly being forced to find a new place to live.
Right.
And with fewer rentals available and more people looking, it's a real challenge. It's definitely putting a squeeze on renters.
It's fascinating to me how this one thing, these falling interest rates can have this ripple effect
Oh, yeah.
through the entire economy in Bellingham.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about increased demand. We've talked about higher home prices. What are some of the maybe downsides or risks involved with falling interest rates?
Yeah. One of the big concerns that economists have is that this could lead to a housing bubble.
Ooh, the B word.
Yeah, the B word, and nobody wants to hear that. Basically, what that means is that prices are being driven up artificially by cheap credit. So people are able to borrow more money than they normally would be able to because interest rates are low, and that's pushing prices up to unsustainable levels. And eventually that bubble could burst. And then you have a market correction and prices come crashing down. So it's a real concern and something that we need to be mindful of.
So I guess it's not as simple as just finding the lowest interest rate possible.
No, not at all.
There's this whole bigger picture
Right.
of the economy and responsibility and long-term health.
Exactly.
Right.
We need to be thinking about the long-term health of the housing market. We don't want to see a boom and bust cycle.
Right.
We want to see sustainable growth and responsible lending practices.
Given all of that, what do you think is going to happen in the next few months here in Bellingham?
That's a great question. It's really hard to say for sure. The articles in the Bellingham Herald
Right.
presented a range of predictions.
Yeah.
Some experts are saying that the market's going to continue to grow at this rapid pace.
Okay.
Others are saying that it's going to plateau a little bit, and then there are some who are even predicting a slight decline. But really, I think the key takeaway here is that interest rates are going to continue to be a major factor
Yep.
in what happens in the housing market. But it's not the only factor. We also need to consider things like local inventory job growth,
Oh.
zoning regulations. All of these things are going to play a role in shaping the future of the housing market.
So anyone listening out there who's involved in the real estate market in Bellingham,
Yeah.
pay attention to these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about national trends. It's really about understanding what's happening locally.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up here, I'd love to leave our listeners with a thought to consider. Knowing all this information now about interest rates and how they can affect the housing market, how does it change the way that you're thinking about your own financial decisions?
Oh, that's a great question.
Whether you're a homeowner, a potential buyer, or a renter, are there any opportunities that you see? Are there any potential pitfalls that you want to avoid? Hopefully this deep dive has given you a little bit of insight
Yeah,
to help you make those decisions.
absolutely.
And remember, knowledge is power. So
Knowledge is power.
keep learning, keep paying attention, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.
Bye.